Okay, we have reached fifth species counterpoint. This is the last one. And this one is kind of a cheat. Actually, it's not new. There's really nothing new here. Well, I take that back. There's one new thing in fifth species counterpoint. And that is that we can do whatever we want when it comes to the rhythms. Remember in first species counterpoint, we had what we called a 1-to-1 rhythmic division. So for every note in the cantus firmus, we would put one note in the counterpoint. In second species counterpoint, we could put two notes, 2-to-1. So for every whole note, we would put two half notes, right? In third species, for every whole note, we would put 4 quarter notes, so 4-to-1. In fourth species, we would put 2 notes, but they would be tied over the bar, and we would be making suspensions all the way across. Now, in fifth species, we can do any of those things, and we can mix them up. We can do some quarter notes, some whole notes, some half notes tied across the bar. We can do any of those things in combination. Now, that causes a couple new wrinkles. Actually, nothing new, but it gives us like a lot to think about all of a sudden, right? Because we have to think about our consonances and dissonances and our accented beats, right? So let's go over that rule one more time. Our heaviest, strongest accented beat is always the downbeat, right? No matter what species we're in, the downbeat is going to get the biggest accent. So that has to be a consonant. Unless you're in the middle of a suspension, then it doesn't have to be, but it has to resolve correctly to a consonant. Our second strongest beat is in a bar of 4/4 is beat 3, right? The second half of the measure. So if we split the measure in half, the second half of it is our second strongest beat. So if we're doing 2 half notes, then in a bar, let me do it. Oops. So if I was going to do F, G, something like that, then the downbeat is still the strongest. The offbeat, in this case, because it's 2 half notes, beat 3 here can be a dissonance. But if I've got quarter notes, something like that, let's actually not repeat a note. Let's do that. Let's just see if that works. I don't know. Now I have my strongest downbeat here, my second strongest downbeat, or my second strongest beat here. So that needs to be a consonant in this case. And then beats 2 and 4 can be dissonances. Let's see. So here we have an octave. Here we have a second, but that's not a strong beat. So that's okay. That's not an accented beat. That's okay. Here we have a third. That's a consonance. That's okay. And here we have a fourth, actually an augmented fourth. And that's a dissonance, but it's on beat 4. That's going to be okay.